Straw Hut Media.
Did you just hear that pipe?
There's a pipe somewhere.
Do y'all hear it?
It sounds like a humpback whale.
Did y'all hear that?
In our home. Okay.
Anyway.
All right, it's 2022 and this was a good one.
Yes, it was so good. This is Confess Your Mess.
Do you like funny pods?
We do.
That'll make sense later.
It will. It will. Listen, we're just going to get right into it because this is a royal episode of Confess Your Mess, and you'll find out why right now. Confess your mess. AJ.
Emile.
I don't know about you, but it's 2022.
Wait. You do know about me. It's also 2022 in my world.
I know, but I had to make the reference. I don't even love Taylor Swift like that, but I just could not do it. Anyway, it's 2022. We made it. We survived.
Where did 2020? Okay, so I'm still trying to wrap my brain around 2020. What happened to 2021? Like, where's she?
Well, 2021, she came, she went, and I feel like we'll talk about this at some point. But we both had a lot of growth in 2021. A lot of changes happened in 2021.
Your hair's a lot longer. You have a beard.
Mm-hmm. I quit a job.
Internal growth.
Yeah, not like material, like external. Like I'm talking about internal, like life changing.
You're right.
Anyway, welcome back to Confess Your Mess. This is the place where you confess to us, you tell us your secrets, and we break them down, and we do not judge most of the time. There are some occasions where
every now and then people be wild.
They be out of pocket sometimes. And I'm like, wait a minute, I can't just go, I'm not judging you because real talk, like what the hell? Okay, we're very excited for our first guest of 2022.
This is a big one.
This is a big one. And this is somebody that I actually was first introduced to by my one of my college best friends, Ty Cromer, in college. I distinctly remember she came over to my apartment. That had to have been junior year. She sat on the sofa.
In college?
In college, yeah. Oh. And we were going down a YouTube train. I remember it started off with Tim showing us like, national anthem fails. We were watching like bad national anthems.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then...
Wait, this was before Fergie?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
But she definitely will be in that compilation. And then I remember she pulled up a guy named Kingsley. And I was like, oh, who is this? And I just remember, I don't even remember what the videos were necessarily because college was so long ago. I feel so old, y'all. But I do remember laughing hysterically, and I remember that they cursed a lot.
Okay, yeah.
But it was funny, and it brought me joy. And at a time of my life when I was still in the closet and I didn't necessarily have a lot of joy, it was refreshing to see somebody who was authentically who they were.
You better say it.
And now they are known as King, rightfully so.
Well, they've grown.
They've grown for sure. Talk about growth. Let's talk about growth. But YouTuber, commentator, hilarious person, and somebody that we have become friends with over the years. Please welcome to Confess Your Mess, King.
Hey,
hello.
How's it going?
The artist formerly known as Kingsley.
Yes.
That's like a bold move. So can you first and foremost welcome? Thank you so much for being here and for doing this for us. We adore you.
Thank you.
But why King? What happened to Kingsley? What is this a new phase of your life? Are you in a new season? What's going on?
Kind of. It was kind of like a shedding almost because my real name is King and Kingsley is a nickname. Oh. I got it in high school from one of my cross country teammates. And when I started my channel, I had this whole thing of like, I love Britney Spears. So it's like, it's Britney, bitch. It's Kingsley, bitch. And it just became like, I don't know, my persona. But yeah, just as I grew, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use my real name. I don't feel like that's too fitting anymore. But people still call me that. So
no, you've grown now. I like that. And I also love that you had an entire moniker based on it's Britney, bitch. That's kind of iconic to me.
Yeah,
and now that she's free, you're king.
Well, she's free and so are you.
Yeah. Yes. You both shed.
Free Kingsley. Free. Well, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get into our secrets that our listeners have submitted this week, King, we need to test you. You know, you did bring a confession for us that you're going to share a little bit later on in the pod.
I did.
That we do not know about yet. You've let our producer Frank know about it. They vetted you, but we need to vet you now.
Yes.
So before we can trust you with some of our listener submitted secrets, we need to know your mess. But yes. Now, this is something that might be maybe a vice, maybe something that isn't great for you. Maybe it's a person, a place, a thing, a habit that isn't really great for you, but you just can't say no to it. Do you have something like that in your life?
Boys by Jesse Nelson.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I can't.
Wait, I'm sorry. What is this?
So Jessie Nelson's from Little Mix, but Jessie's the one who left the group, right?
Yes, she is. But
Jessie left the group. Was there controversy with that song?
it was a little bit of it, because she sampled like a Diddy song. She like recreated his video, and there's like a whole blackfishing thing around it. And I don't know, but I love that song.
Wait, is the song bad?
It's like a cheesy. It's nothing groundbreaking by any means, but for somebody that grew up with Bad Boy, like I like the sample, I like the video, I like Diddy, I like Nicki. I just like I've been trying to like love because everyone's like, oh my god, this is horrible, this is bad, and I'm just like, it's top 10 on my.
You're like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't. But I feel like I should, but I really don't.
Listen, do you, King?
Can I ask you about social media before we move on? This isn't really an interview. We might just throw you a random question every now and then. But sure. I know that you say you're off Twitter now. You take it looks like you take social media breaks. I see all of a sudden randomly, I'll like wake up one day and I'll have like a whole bunch of likes from you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's back. He's back. Where's he been? Do you do that periodically? And why?
I do, especially I'm in a screenwriting program, so I've been trying to like really focus on that and finish that. And I tend to take breaks, especially when I first start. Like even now I'm on more because it's like winter break, I'm at home, I just have more time. Yeah. But yeah, every time I come back, I do that to different people. I do it to both of you, and I'm like talking and I like catch up. I'm like, I'm sure people think I'm crazy, but like, I have people that I keep up with and that I want to see.
Oh, we actually think it's genuine and endearing. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
We do.
And we trust you. That was a really good little confession you made there. So we trust you. We're good to go.
Okay. So the first one is from anonymous male, Las Vegas. Again, we have not seen any of these secrets. Frank
people are wild. People are wild in Las Vegas.
So they said, people tell me I'm tone deaf, but I love singing. So when no one's around, I sing Whitney Houston at the top of my lungs. It's not a deep, dark secret. I just haven't told anyone because I want my moments of pure joy to go unjudged. There is nothing wrong with that.
Oh, that's real, though.
Wait a minute. I thought tone deaf was like being unaware of like your surroundings.
Wait, that can be also, I think.
What?
Tone deaf can also be not like you don't know how to read a room. Like if people are like,
so in music though, because just from Inquire, if you're tone deaf, that means that like if she's singing Whitney Houston, they said if I instead of that, they might be singing if I.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I'm not gonna say their name, but growing up in choir or in the church, my dad's a pastor. There was this one woman who they showed a little extra love to for different reasons. She was so tone deaf, and they would give her solos because they felt bad. She came from a troubled family, and that's all good and whatever. But y'all, she was ruining the church service. She would get up there, and when you saw her walking up to the microphone, like we all just had to prepare to keep straight faces because there was nowhere near the note that she was supposed to be at every single week.
I can relate.
No, you're not tone deaf.
Can you sing?
Sometimes it depends on the song. Like if I have if my music in, like my headphones in, I think I sound good, but I wouldn't know. But if they're not in, then it's a wrap.
Wait, I think you're like me. So explain to him what this means because you actually know how to sing. When you and I are singing, so Emile will try to get me to harmonize with him sometimes, and I can't for the life of me. But if I have to match him, he's like, "Oh, you sound nice. You have a nice tone to your voice right now." But then if he changes key a little bit, I just fall off a cliff every single time. So I think that's probably the same thing that happens. Like if you hear it, you can match it. But what does that mean? What is that? That's a thing.
I was in choir. I wasn't the conductor. I don't know.
See, I was in choir too, but I forgot everything.
Yeah, I can match, but I can't sing alone.
Match this note. Okay, that was good. Now stay there. No, you say.
Yeah, I follow him every time.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely gorgeous.
I can't. Thank you.
Okay. This next one is from anonymous male, New Jersey. My New Year's resolution is to stop cheating on my girl and come clean.
Oh God.
What? But I'm scared she'll. I just drew. Oh God. But I'm scared she'll break up with me. I love her. I just also love sex, and she's not as sexual as me.
Oh, okay.
That's real.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like though some therapy should have happened at some point.
Yeah. What do you do with?
were they saying that they feel that they would break up with them if they stopped cheating?
I think if they came clean about the cheating. They want to stop.
So he wants to tell her he's been cheating on her because he loves her and wants to be with her.
But he also wants more sex.
But he's afraid that if he's honest with her, that she will leave him.
Mm-hmm.
King, what does he do?
I think he needs to leave. I don't.
He just needs to leave?
Yeah, it sounds like he's not satisfied. He's cheating. He wants more sex. Like, what is he actually scared of? What are they staying together for? Like, I need more backstory. It sounds like he's already out of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's interesting, though, because if he's like saying that, well, here's the thing. Maybe he is very much in love with her. Maybe she's the love of his life, but maybe he just is not being sexually satisfied by her. And that can be a real thing. That needs to be a real conversation, though. That's not something you're doing on your own and stepping out and not talking to her about. Because maybe she might say, I understand I can't give this to you. And so I'm okay with that, because that can be a new relationship dynamic. But to be lying to her behind her back and doing it, that's a problem.
Yeah, I feel like if that was a conversation that they would have had already, and then she said, okay, or like if he said, hey, I'm not sexually satisfied, I need to get it from somewhere. And they had that conversation, and then
what if he's never brought it up to her? I mean, a lot of, especially straight relationships, don't talk about these sorts of things. Do you know what I mean?
So he's just over here suffering in silence.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk about the straights for a little bit.
Let's talk about the straights.
If you're straight, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're listening, there's no judgment. But it's just, I do feel like just from the straight relationships that I know and that I've been around all my life and friends and stuff, y'all really don't be talking about stuff.
No.
I feel like gay relationships do. Because I feel like when you're in a relationship that is already seen and viewed by the world as different and other and all these different things.
Yeah, what do you have to lose? You might as well go all in.
And it forces you to have conversations with your partner because you already are in a vulnerable state, right? So like when we are navigating, like planning our wedding and things like that, there's conversations that we're having and stresses that we're dealing with that a straight couple would never have to deal with and never have to even analyze.
We find each other from a broken place.
Right.
Already, because this is how we're raised and how we're viewed in society. King, are you a relationship person or not? Or are you just super private about that kind of stuff?
I am. I tend to be in a relationship. I'm currently in a relationship.
Are you blushing?
But yeah, I am a relationship person. But yeah, I do talk about these things.
Yeah, right.
I do value communication. It's super important, especially about, like y'all said, things like sex.
Well, because honestly, I would hope, and if you came to me and like, I'm not being fulfilled in this way, I would want you to come to me first so I could either A, try to do better and give you what you need, or B, figure out a way for us to either move forward as a couple and you be able to get what it is you need that I'm not willing to provide, or walk away in a way that is still full of love and just understanding that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because I think what it comes down to, and what I've heard from different straight couples, and not even just straight couples, let's just say straight people, some of my straight friends in general, is sometimes it's they're so afraid to even have the conversation and what the outcome could be that they just avoid. And that's not healthy either. I feel like you have to have these conversations because you can, avoid things all your life. But if you're avoiding, then that's not healthy. Like you actually have to have these conversations and break down those walls.
And then they project
trust.
on us. So like if you're like the gay person in the family at the holiday get-togethers, whatever, and all the other straight married couples are there or whatever, you're like the one that's like a little bit crazy, a little bit wild, a little bit like you're the you know what I mean? You're like the dirty one who's doing like the stuff that you never grow up.
The nasty.
I'm like, come on, y'all ain't never talked about nothing?
Right.
Like it just doesn't come up.
They just don't talk about it.
You think that the second you get married that all of a sudden like you don't have a desire ever again for the rest of your life for anybody else on the planet? Like that's insane. It's insane. It's almost as insane as believing that you ever find your soulmate. Like we all have one soulmate in the world.
Now wait a minute, AJ.
No.
Now, wait a minute.
No, listen. I believe that you can have multiple soulmates, but
I'm not your one and only.
You are a soulmate. I think you are one of my soulmates.
You ain't got multiple soulmates. Now hold up. Wait, we're gonna pause it right there.
Oh, wait,
we're gonna pause it right there, and we're gonna take a quick commercial break because you need to reevaluate everything that you are saying over here.
Well, welcome back to Confess Your Mess. I was just getting dragged, so Emile took us to a commercial break.
Not dragged.
This is fascinating though, because I think we've hit a nerve, and I want to get your thought on this as well, King. I don't necessarily believe we have one soulmate. I think that to live on a planet of 7 or 8 billion people and to believe that your soulmate just happens to live down the street from you, or you happen to both work at Best Buy together. We just wrapped up Insecure recently.
I was about to say, Lawrence Hive, stand up. How's it going?
I'm Lawrence Hive for sure, all day, every day. But to think that out of like the billions of people, there's one soulmate and you couldn't find somebody else somewhere in the world that, like, if you lived somewhere else, that feels weird to me. Do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe in one? Do you believe in multiple? Do you believe in zero?
I believe in different types. Like some of my friends, I do feel like are my soulmate. Like I can't imagine life without them. I get like energized talking to them, catching up with them. Like my best friend from elementary school, I cannot talk to her 364 days. We talk on the 365th. We're back together. Like nothing happened. That's just how we are. But like with love, I don't think there's multiple. I don't.
Period.
And I don't know. I just feel like that connection. I do feel like people think they found their soulmate, and sometimes it doesn't work out. In which case, to me, that's not your soulmate. But it's like the people who, you know, make it last, and you find that person that you really do end up spending the rest of your life with. That's your soulmate to me.
Hear that, AJ? The people who are passing in the wind ain't your soulmates.
You're my soulmate.
Like my parents have been together for 28 years, so that's all I see. So I do believe in that, like one.
My dad's been married 4 times, so maybe
he got some issues.
I'll bring that to my therapist.
And by he, I mean AJ, just from the residual of that. Yeah, my parents they just celebrated their 35th year anniversary. So yeah, we both come from homes where we saw that, and so AJ, just know that I am your one and only. You're stuck with me for the rest of your life.
Wait, now hold on.
All right. So this next secret is from anonymous female, Minnesota, eh? Just let me have it.
Is that how you think they sound in Minnesota? They kind of do.
They do. They said, I anonymously mailed my ex Cole for Christmas.
That's hateful.
I'm so done.
Wait, that's the whole secret?
That's the whole secret.
That's shady.
You want to go ahead and confess your secret about Christmas, AJ, and Santa Claus?
What?
Go ahead.
What secret?
Well, tell us about Santa Claus.
Oh, you're going to drag me right now.
I'm not going to drag you.
Okay, so I believe in Santa still.
Okay.
Like, I legit believe in Santa Claus.
Okay.
You are trying not to smile and judge me right now. I see you pursing your lips.
Confess your mess.
Okay, it's not messy.
Like, were you tracking him on the, what's the thing?
NORAD, of course I was.
Okay,
so I believe in Santa Claus, and this one over here to my left,
I have a name.
Emile, my soulmate, apparently, who's now 8 seconds later dragging me for believing in magic.
Spill your truth.
Was not also raised, though those same parents who've been together for 30 years did not raise him in a household
35.
where they were creating magic as a child. They were like, we bought this for you. We bought it.
Let me just explain.
Because they wanted credit. I don't like that. I don't like when parents do that. Because some parents want the kids to know, like, I'm spending the money on you. And I think that takes away the joy of, like, the magic of Christmas.
King, did you grow up with Santa Claus and believing in Santa Claus?
I did, but I don't know if my parents explicitly told me, but I figured it out that it was them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was just the way it was. I knew to ask them for my presents. Like, I didn't really have like a list for Santa or anything like that. I just
listen. I still chew up. No, I don't.
Yeah, you didn't do it this year.
Somebody does. So when we put out on Christmas morning, if you wake up with us, you will find.
Wait, so I just realized what you said. So you were about to confess that you were the one who's chewing up the carrots, not the reindeer that you
listen.
And the note that you write from Santa isn't from Santa. You
will find.
You know I have a Furbo camera in the living room now, so if you were to do that, I would catch you.
Listen, you're a hater. You don't believe in magic.
That's not magic. You're doing it.
So if you wake up here on Christmas morning, we take really great care of our friends.
You didn't do it this year.
Well, nobody woke up with us. Can you let me finish my damn story?
Go ahead.
If you wake up here on Christmas morning, you will find outside of our door where the reindeer were, chewed up carrots and celery, spit in no random order all over the ground. You will also find a glass of half-empty milk and a half-eaten cookie.
Almond milk.
And well, yes, he's lactose intolerant, as we learned in the Santa Claus. And then you will also find a note from Santa, and you'll know it's from Santa because the edges of the paper are cut at a curve. Santa doesn't use like rectangular paper. He uses curved edge paper, which I learned when Santa left me my first note when I was a child. So the magic continues. And when we have children someday, soulmates, our children will believe, and their children's children will believe, and their children's children's children will believe. And that is the night that the lights went out in Georgia, ladies and gentlemen.
I am so done. No, I am all for the children having the Santa Claus experience. Just know that around 3 or 4, they're going to realize. They're going to know.
No, they won't.
You know that TikTok? They're going to know.
Okay, so do you know when first of all, our kids will not have a phone when they're 3 or 4. And
there's other ways. I didn't have a phone when I was 3 or 4. I figured it out.
The first time I found out somebody told me that Santa wasn't real, I'm not saying I believed him. I was in 6th grade. Myself and Alicia Schmidt in my hometown were the last to figure it out.
So Cornelia asked you this the other day and you didn't confess. So now I'm going to text Cornelia and be like, he found out in 6th grade. That's when he found out.
I know.
Let me text her now.
I was told and I chose to believe what I believe. I said what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll just have to respect your kids no matter their Santa identity.
Oh, don't even. Come on. Listen.
I'm serious.
I'm open to everything.
If they don't believe support, don't kick them out of the house.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Ain't no way trying to kick them out the house.
I mean, it sounds like if I don't believe you trying to. No, I'm so glad that you said that.
It sounds like you're the one dragging me for my belief. So maybe I'm the one being bullied because you brought it up. Thank you, King, for that. We appreciate
you. Now wait a minute. The way we just convoluted this whole musky water. Okay,
come on, soulmate.
Let's go to the next secret, and this is the last secret before we get to King's secret. Okay, anonymous female, Florida. What's going down on in Florida?
A lot's going down in Florida. It's a wild. We call it America's penis for a reason.
Florida is really uncharted territory. But low key, they have some nice beaches down there.
They do.
They really do.
On the Gulf side. The other side's kind of trash. Have you ever been to like Daytona? It's horrible.
But have you been to Miami?
But the Gulf.
Yes.
I've not.
We need to go to Miami.
I went 2019 right before everything, and I intended to go again. It was so gorgeous. The water was so warm. It was.
Miami's nice.
Did you see the Versace house, the mansion?
I don't think so.
Where Andrew Cunanan killed Gianni Versace?
I did not.
It's now a hotel or something, I think.
Did you see Shirley on the beach?
Who is Shirley?
You know it's somebody named Shirley. Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's go to.
I'm like Shirley MacLaine. I'm so gay.
At the bar, I'm like, oh my God.
Okay. Anonymous female, Florida. When I was 7, I walked in on my parents having sex. I still have no idea if they know. I will say I've never seen or caught my parents having sex. I know in my mind that they do, or they did. Who knows?
They've had sex at least once.
Yeah, to have me. But I never caught my parents, and I think if I ever saw my parents having sex, I would be traumatized for the rest of my life. Like that's just not something that I could get past.
Wait, now why are you agreeing, King? Because listen,
I wouldn't want to see that.
I thought we weren't trying to judge anybody. We're going to let them do what they need to do and support all of their choices. They're humans too.
What does it have to do with walking in on the act?
Yeah, they can have sex. I'm not saying they can't have sex. I don't want to see it.
Do it. Exactly.
Wait, so your parents have been together a lot of years, you said, right? Yeah. 30 years or something like that?
We've never been when things like this happen, I don't understand because like I've never been a walk into my parents' room type of person.
Right.
Oh, so you have that relationship.
Yeah, like
that's a lot of families. Like we were in and out of our parents' room all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, totally.
If their door is closed, I'm not going in there.
No, they have the nicer shower and the nicer bathroom. So as I got older, I always wanted to shower in their bathroom.
Oh, but
I usually almost never saw my parents' bathroom.
See, that is interesting because on the flip side, my dad, I don't know if I've ever seen his bedroom. Like maybe once or twice. I think that's real for a lot of people. You don't I have aunts and uncles I have no idea what their bedrooms look like because they just wouldn't walk in there. But my parents, my mom, I know we hang out there all the time.
So at our house, my dad so there was 2 rooms that technically I don't know which one was officially the what do you call it now, the owner suite, the primary. The primary bedroom, but I will say the one that ended up being the office, I think that actually was the primary, but it turned into a huge office, and it had a huge bathroom connected to it, the tub and everything.
Well, your dad is a pastor, so we needed a home office. Yeah.
So that was the huge bathroom, and that's the bathroom that I used and that my mom used. That wasn't connected to their room. The bathroom connected to their room was a really small bathroom, and that one just had a shower, a tub, and a sink.
I've showered in there. Yeah, and because your dad puts a note on the door telling him to eat healthy and eat his green vegetables.
You showered in where?
In your dad's bathroom.
In my dad's bathroom?
Yeah, because I think when we were there years ago, you were getting ready in yours, and so your mom said I could use that one. And he wrote himself notes to stay healthy every day and take his vitamins.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so yes, that bathroom is actually connected to my parents' bedroom and my bedroom. There's like a door on each side.
Like a Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
Oh.
So fun fact though, when I was younger, it made me nervous because I'm like, if I'm doing anything, you know, as I'm going through puberty to myself, I was nervous because I was like, I have to put a lock on. There's like a little lock on that door, but it's just like one of those, you know, those little hooks. You just put the hook over like that. Yeah. So somebody pulls it, you can still see a gap there. So I was always afraid that for whatever reason, they're going to try to come through that because I would lock my main bedroom door. And if they were trying to come in to figure out what I was doing, if my door was closed, because I wasn't supposed to have my door closed. That was like, I just wasn't.
Because God needs to be able to go into all of your rooms.
So they would sometimes open. I was like, oh God, there's a gap there, and like whatever. I was always afraid of getting caught, you know, stroking. But anyway,
I heard my parents having sex once. I was in high school, and I was staying up a little later than I should, and I was out there. I was in the living room watching TV on like a recliner, and all of a sudden I heard the act of sex happening. Ooh. And I was like, whoa, and I literally turned the TV off and ran upstairs, went to bed. I was probably 16 or 17.
Off. I would have turned it up.
Right. Turned it up and then run upstairs. They probably heard your big ass feet going up the stairs too. They're like, oh, he knows.
They were getting it in. And I was like, and at the time, I had a sister. My baby sister was like, I might have been a little bit older. She was probably maybe 2 or so at the time, I think. So like looking back, I'm kind of impressed that they were still like getting it in after they had a baby, a newborn. So good for them, but also like, ew.
Yeah. I'll say after we had our Kingston, the sex life just...
It really has. We haven't had as much sex this last year.
It's just...
That's actually real.
You have a child.
Listen, we have a king too. It's not Kingsley, it's Kingston. Yeah. And since we've had him, we don't have as much sex. Thank you.
Are y'all a couple that allows them in the bed?
Yeah.
For naps.
Everywhere.
For naps.
All of them.
Yeah, he can go anywhere, but we don't sleep with him at nighttime, just for naps. Because for naps, it's like a short period of time.
And we kennel trained him right away. And so, of course, Emile found the bougiest kennel on the planet. He has like memory foam and like, it's like...
it's very nice. It's luxury.
What is the kind of velvet? He has a velvet bed. It's a whole thing. He's got like walls on it so he can have his privacy. My parents bought it for us for Christmas last year. It was really a great gift. But no, he sleeps out there at night. During the daytime, he'll take naps with us. Yes. He's super, super, super cuddly and thinks he's a human.
I love it.
There's that.
Y'all are cute.
Instead of sex, we talk about, did the dog poop today and what was the consistency?
Yeah, it's really sexy. But he does know though, if we're getting it on every now and then, if it starts to get aggressive, he does that thing. And a lot of dogs will do this. Like some dogs will stare, but he goes like this. And he'll lay down and like look away, like he knows like daddies are doing something dirty.
And just but let's sorry before we take our commercial
it's beautiful.
break.
It's beautiful.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. If we're making out or something, that's one thing. But we're not like getting nude, having sex, and
we'll lock him out of the room.
He won't be in the room. That makes it sound like we're about to get it in, and we're just like, oh yeah, daddy, and then he's like, oh daddy, like no. So he's not in the room for that type of stuff.
Nope.
Oh my God.
But I want you all to stay in whatever room you're in because we're gonna take another quick break, and then we're gonna come back with King to hear the secret of 2022. Well, not 2022, but of King. Well, not of King.
Okay. All right. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. It is now time for our guest this week. Our first guest of 2022 here on Confess Your Mess to confess their mess. King, it's time for you to confess your mess.
Okay. So I actually don't know if I've ever spoken about this in a video before or a story or anything, but at my senior graduation party, we had a huge party at school after we left the arena, and we had a hypnotist come into the class, or the school, the auditorium, whatever. And they had about like 10 people volunteer to go up. And I pretended to be hypnotized.
Wait, what?
Because I didn't want the guy to look stupid. And it was boring otherwise.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait.
Wait, you say it was high school?
Graduation.
Okay, so when they were doing I'm very fascinated by this because hypnotism is incredibly interesting to me. So when he was doing like whatever, was he like swinging something in your head or saying, like, how did he set it up?
No, so there was about 10 of us. We were all like sitting in a row of chairs. He had us close our eyes. And it was kind of like a calming, like I think he counted to like 30.
It was a group thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So there was like, my class was maybe like 300, 400.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all in the auditorium and like 10 of us were up for the hypnotizing.
Did anybody else get hypnotized, or did anybody else pretend, or was it just you?
There were definitely other people, because there was like one part where we had to like sniff the person next to us. I did that, and I know other people did it. But like the person I sniffed was not sniffing anybody. So it was like a blend. And I don't know who was really hypnotized. I don't know who else was faking. But yeah, I felt bad for the guy, because I was just sitting there like, ain't nothing happening right now. Like, everybody was just sitting here staring at us like, let me sniff this person's neck. Like,
here's the thing. In college, for like the, whatever you call it, like the first night that all the students, I went to a small school for college, but the first night that all the students are on campus, they would always do like a welcome, like event or whatever. Mm-hmm. And in the auditorium, they would have a hypnotist every year. And I was always afraid to go up there.
Every year?
Every year. There was always a hypnotist. And I was like, is this real? Is this fake? Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. But on one of my favorite Instagram accounts, Embracing Black Culture, I remember there was a thread a while back, and there was a girl who's talking about being hypnotized. And then in the comments, I like made a comment about like, oh, blah, blah. And then this girl said, no, actually, this is real. She was like, I was hypnotized. And she's like, I had a psychotic break because of it. And it was actually, she thinks like some witchcraft that was going on from the hypnotist. And it's like a whole thing.
Wait, I think you keep saying hypnotize.
No,
It's an N.
Am I saying hypnotize?
Hypnotize.
Low key. You know, now that I think about it, I probably would say hypnotized.
It is an N, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hypnotized. Yeah, I would say hypnotized. But when I say it so fast, yeah, wow, I've been saying hypnotized my whole life.
Dang, it's like that guy we used to know who says Valentine's.
Oh, yeah.
We drag him.
Yeah, when it's Valentine. Wow, have I been saying hypnotized? Anyway, so their experience was that they were hypnotized and that it was actually not done when the session was over, and it carried on to different aspects of their life. So the guy that you experienced could have been a crock, but apparently there are real hypnotists or evil people out there who were doing some witchcraft.
Evil?
Oh, yeah.
She had a psychiatric break, and she found out she wasn't the only one.
Okay, so you didn't believe in this hypnotist, but do you believe in that kind of stuff? Yeah. Do you believe in like tarot card readings or palm readings or any of that kind? Yeah.
Yes, which is why I am never going to get my palm read or cards turned over for my future or anything. Like, that weirds me out. And I do believe that people get hypnotized. Do I think that the person they hired for our high school graduation was a real hypnotist? No. But yeah, I definitely believe in like magic and all that.
What's your most spiritual practice? Like, what is the thing that either like opens you up to the universe or grounds you or like calms you, or like what is the thing you go to find like peace or meaning?
I sage all the time. Like all the time. And I pray while I do it. And I walk around, I do the motions. I let it burn out. Like I get on my knees at the end. That's probably like my biggest thing. Like if there's ever something I'm trying to get or like audition for, like I always do that.
That's good.
And around the time where I'm trying to get it, yeah.
I believe that works. We had our neighbor died tragically a few years ago, and I was having a hard time afterwards. And I was just really, really struggling with it and feeling like the energy of that because he passed like next door to us. And that was really, really, really hard for me. And I think also we had a really awful roommate who lived with us at one time and years ago, and that was really hard for me. And those 2 times I did sage, and I didn't know if it was like real or not, but it felt real to me, so it worked. And so I think that
we still have some.
We do still have some.
We should sage today.
We should sage. Oh, we're starting off a new year. We should sage.
The sage.
Oh, the great time. King, thank you for the reminder. It's been in like our junk drawer. We have like a bundled up.
It's like a whole bunch in there.
Wait, where do you get your sage?
There's a site called Magic that my friend actually runs. I do that. And any local places, like in LA, where did I go? There was like a bookshop. I can't think of the name. In NoHo on Ventura.
Oh.
If I find it, I'll send it to you. Yeah. They have like incense sticks, sage, tarot cards, like all types of stuff. So
yeah. Wait, what else is on the Magic website?
Yeah, what else is there?
Oh, they have incense, sage. They have tarot cards as well. They have voodoo doll kits. They have
nope.
All sorts.
Nope.
Incense holders. Like a huge library of books. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated because there's certain things that I'm like, okay, I'll get into that a little bit. Like I'll sage. Crystals, I'm kind of on the fence about sometimes. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm into that or if I'm not. But then I'm like, certain things like a voodoo doll or like a Ouija board, I'm like, oh, hell no. But yeah, it's fascinating, like what sort of things we kind of pick and choose as like if we're like people of faith or if we have like beliefs in like energies or universe or whatever it is. But I will definitely sage.
I don't believe there's one right way. I think you figure out what's good for you while you're here on this earth and in this universe. We're just a speck. I've been telling AJ, we watched Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and all this stuff, and I'm just going through an existential crisis right now with
the multiverse is too much for him to wrap his brain around. The meaning
and the purpose of our existence here in wherever we are. Are we all Sims? Possibly. Okay,
so King, we want to know. So what's coming up in 2022 for you? This is an exciting year. I feel like we're finally, like, hopefully, I know we're kind of going through it again, but we're hopefully inching closer and closer to a new normal. What are your hopes and goals for 2022, and how can we support you?
I definitely want to get back to that new normal on a just basic level. I really want to go to a festival again. I miss concerts. I miss just big crowds and music all over the place. I haven't been in a few years. And I'm actually still kind of scared, but I'm hoping that disappears.
Yeah.
In due time. And I'm also trying to finish my screenwriting program.
Yeah, I want to know more about that.
Projects.
Screenwriting. So are you working film, sitcom, like series, like drama? Okay.
Film, yeah. So when I was hosting and stuff, I realized like I didn't know what was going on. And like the prereq for the program was pre-production and post-production. So now I know how to like budget things, create a schedule, location scout, like all types of stuff. But I'm really learning how to format a script so I can write my own and sell them and like just know what I'm doing and not just be doing stuff.
That's real, especially if you come from a place like YouTube where there weren't rules and you made them up as you went along, and then you realize if you're going to get into like the game on a different level, you got to know how the game is played. I'm working on not a screenplay right now. I have an idea for a couple of screenplays, but I'm working on a script with a partner for a TV series we're trying to sell. So I get it. It's a lot and it's overwhelming at first, and then you feel so stupid and you feel like you have no idea what you're doing and you're over your head, but then it starts to make sense a little bit more. So we hope that the screenplay goes well and that you sell it and you sell many, many, many more.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so every single episode, we like to end with our messenger of the week. But before that, we like to end with what was your takeaway of the day? So something from this podcast that you were like, I'm enlightened, or whatever you want.
Or you can just say we're total trash and that's your takeaway.
No.
I mean, whatever.
I don't know. You guys just seem in love to me. So I'm taking that away. Aww. I think y'all are cute. Love your pictures. I love your podcast. I love your dog and your family. So just taking that away. You guys are definitely #couple goals.
Aww. Why? When people say, the takeaway is not supposed to be about us, but people have been saying stuff about us recently, which makes me feel really good.
Well,
I guess we should go through with the wedding.
We should, especially since I'm your soulmate. So,
oh wait, I can't let you off this podcast without asking this.
Oh God, here it comes.
Do you like scary movies?
Oh my God. Yes, I do, and I can't wait.
Okay, so it's right around the corner. We're just a couple weeks away. Scream 5, also known as just Scream, apparently. Oh. I can't tell you, but my obsession with the Scream franchise, and Sidney Prescott in particular, is just otherworldly. I'm from a slightly different generation than you, though. I'm a little bit older than you, and I was in school when the first one came out, and I remember my ex-girlfriend taking me to see it, and I saw it 8 times in the theater. How and when did your love affair with horror films, in particular Scream, start?
So it's funny. My first love affair started with I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, so good.
Which was a year later.
Also
and
Kevin Williamson.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and then Brandy was in the sequel, so it was just like
she climbed out the bushes at the end. That was a little bit sus, but whatever.
I know. Look, she survived. I'm not complaining. But yeah, Scream. I watched after that because it's funny because I'm Black. We watched 2 because of Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps. So I fell in love with them, and I remember watching, and I was like so shocked because Drew Barrymore was in it, and then they killed her in the first 10 minutes, and I don't know. I just always fell into that entire era of like an ensemble cast of like who's hot in Hollywood, and just figuring out who did it. Like I love mysteries. That's what I like most about slashers, is trying to figure out who's doing it. So that entire era
So good.
films.
The cast were just like a who's who of everybody who was hot at the time. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, fun fact, dies in both. She dies in the original I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then she also dies as Cece, I think was her name, in Scream 2.
Omega Beta Zeta.
Omega Beta Zeta.
Spoiler alert.
So good. So good. I love it. I can't wait. It's right around the corner. I hope this kicks off like a new era and they just keep doing these forever because I'm obsessed. Also, predictions. Are any of the legacy characters going to die?
I think so. Based on the trailer. I know trailers are misleading, but I think one of them is going to die.
Who's your call? Who's going down?
Dewey.
That's who I thought too.
He's evaded it for so long. But I just can't. It's weird because I can't wrap my brain around them killing Sydney Gale.
They're not killing Sydney.
I feel like I feel like they see what's been going on with Halloween and Jamie Lee Curtis all these years later, and they need to keep her alive so they can continue doing these forever.
Yeah, and they don't have to be like, just ignore this one where she is stabbed and falls off a building.
Yes. I will just say, I will just say they should not have killed Kirby. Hayden Panettiere was the best character. She was the best part of the last film. They could have kept Emma Roberts alive, to be honest. But Kirby was one of the best characters in the entire franchise. I wish she wasn't dead.
I heard they were supposed to keep Emma alive in the original.
Yes.
And then they didn't, and then did the hospital scene.
Yep. That was an addition. That was later on. I read that too. Interesting. Anyways. I'm sorry, I could do this forever. Because King and I constantly like DM each other.
I know.
Every time something comes out about Scream on Instagram, but in real life, we haven't had a chance to talk about this. So keep this in the pod, Frank. Keep it in the pod. Don't cut it. Okay? Because this is real, and I'm obsessed with Scream. And Sidney Prescott, King, you're amazing. We love you.
Thank you, King.
Thank you, guys.
He's your king to be.
Take me to the king. I thought that's what you were going to sing.
But you thought wrong.
Confess your mess.
All right, so every week we have to highlight a messenger of the week. If you don't know what the messenger of the week is, that means that you are a loyal, faithful listener of the pod, or actually you could be a first-time listener. You're like, oh my gosh, I love these guys. And the way that you can be a messenger of the week is to go to iTunes, rate, comment 5 stars, and leave us a comment to say how much you love the pod or to give us encouragement, whatever it may be.
Our egos need it, to be honest.
They need it. Okay, so let's get into it. The messenger of the week for this week is AKD1031. They said, I love secrets. 5 stars. This is the best show I've ever listened to.
Wait, that's the whole review?
That's the whole review.
Incredible.
That's and
short and sweet and to the point.
Short and sweet, and we are glad that we're the best show you've ever listened to.
But genuinely, thank you. Just to be in 2022 and to be cranking out new episodes and booking these incredible guests, it just means the world to us that you support us. We cannot do this without you. So however you can support, share with your friends and family. Yes. Obviously, the comments really help us, and the ratings really help us. So we do appreciate you. We're going to have a huge 2022, and if you only do that with your love and support.
Yes. Confess Your Mess is a Straw Hut Media podcast produced by Ryan Tillotson and Frank Driscoll. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and share.
And if you have a secret and want to share, go to confessyourmess.us to submit. Your secret could end up in the show.
Ooh.